robot right here.
Or you just put it on the table.
Make sure they can see it.
There we go.
And Javier, you're gonna introduce us?
Oh, yeah, the New England Patriots.
Hi, we are the
You're gonna step out first.
What?
You're gonna step out.
Yeah, just like step up to the desk.
Or should we all get together? We are all.
No. Whoa. Hold on, fake it.
Just like get really into the judge's face.
Hello! Hello!
No, tuxedo penguin move, not what we do.
Wait, Miss Bell,
Go.
we're out of
But we
time.
I will stab
Wait, what if instead of
Let's do the
somebody
beater.
stepping
No.
up, we just all like stand close, and then when somebody's up, just all step back.
I'm going to kill you if you start talking about that here anymore.
I was thinking it should be like a shark movie moment.
Yes.
Use the sword as a fin.
Why don't we have the theme from Jaws on our
That's what Wesley
Like
wanted us to
bringing
do.
On the robot.
and whenever we make a point, it goes. That'd be hilarious.
They get eaten by
Well, I plan on bringing in my computer anyway, so I can show off like a video clip or something. But I haven't decided which one. But I can do that if you can find audio files.
That would be hilarious. Do you want me to find audio files?
Well, I don't like turning on the audio because then I like forget to turn it off, and then all of a sudden it starts making weird. I don't know. My computer does weird things.
Alright, so
pirate YouTube.
7955. Wow me. Make me believe that you need to go to States.
Hi, we are the Aluminum Sharks, and we are a rookie team from Albemarle High School, where many of us are members of the MESA program, which is the Math, Engineering, and Science Academy.
Alright, so I'm going to tell you about our magnificent robot. As you see here, we have this arm device, which we use, one, to pick up blocks, and also to get our hanging device up to the bar. We use the servos here to turn this scoop in to hold blocks close to the arm, so that we can raise it up using this gear system that's powered down with torque up. That way the motors can slowly raise this with good accuracy for dropping these blocks down the plexiglass surface into the vessels. The hanging device on the opposite side, we use this winch here to raise
I was
this
thinking of
bar
saying
up
something.
so that the hook goes above the scoop. Then, once we get the robot's hook attached to the pole, we use this winch here to wind up the hook, taking the hook off of the bar here and winding up the winch so that the robot may hang.
You still have the two.
We do, but those don't
Right.
work as well.
So we should definitely loosen the gears that are normally here, so that you can actually turn up the arm and demonstrate that stuff.
If you take a second to look at the wheels on the robot, you'll see.
Where does one just go?
It's not missing. It's never been there.
That was great. Yeah.
If you'll take a second to look at the wheels on the robot, you'll see that we chose to have two normal powered wheels in the back, and then two
What do you mean
unpowered,
normal powered wheels?
normal and connected to a motor. Like the normal wheel versus the Omni wheel, and then it's connected to a motor and therefore powered. Then if you look at the front, you'll see that we have two unpowered Omni wheels. We chose this design after having gone through several others because it ended up being relatively strong, relatively fast, but still easy to control and maneuverable. One of the earlier ideas that we had was to have a 6 normal wheel design, all of which were powered. However, this was rather slow and not particularly maneuverable. Another idea that we had was to focus more on Omni wheels and gearing the wheels up so that they would go as fast as possible. However, this proved to be too fast and difficult to control. As such, we decided to go back to one of the more basic ideas with the ungeared motors and wheels so that they would be fast enough and still relatively strong without being too difficult to control. Another part that you might like to see is the device we're using for the flag, to raise the flag. What we had for this originally was a two-pronged device to get around the flag and raise it up. This was connected straight to a motor rather than having any gears. However, as you'll see on our design now, we chose to have a gear ratio
Invisible.
a gear ratio that would increase the speed of the device. This is because in previous tests we saw that it was not quite fast enough to meet our needs, but it was still certainly strong enough, and so we decided to gear it up so that it would go faster, and that helped to serve our needs.
I'm sure they'll have a couple of questions for you right there. And when you answer them, try not to smile.
Is anybody talking about
I just talked.
Yeah, Wesley covered it a bit.
That's why you all went like this.
I thought it was just because
I think jokes are okay, and I think laughing is just fine.
should go.
So if it goes there, it goes there.
Hey, when you take this up, be like,
The horse walks into a
as you lift the hood up, you can take a look. Like, please say that.
Pop the hood. Yeah, talk
All right,
about
so Walker just went, what's next?
Next is Abby.
Okay.
robot profession or team. Just pick one.
It's, well, this,
Definitely
things
I stay with the robot, because you just talked about robot. I'm into the robot right now, seriously, I'm really into the robot right now. So I would go with the robot. As a judge, I'm into the robot.
It's not that hard, guys.
So,
Okay, one really unique thing about our robot is that how it's progressed over the course of the year. As a rookie team, we began the year with little knowledge about robotics, and throughout the year we've learned so much about how the different parts of that you can use to build the robots and just how everything can come together. So at the beginning of the year, we realized that there was two things that we really needed a robot to be able to do. The first thing was to be able to pick up blocks, and for this we wanted some sort of claw device. And the other thing was to be able to extend to hang and get the blocks high enough to where they needed to be able to dump. And for that, we learned about drawer sides, as you can see in this picture where we are learning a lesson about drawer sides from a member of the other team, Vertigo, which is another team that goes to our school and we share meetings at the same time as.
and supplies, and space. I mean, you guys are really collaborative. It's okay, keep going.
So once we had learned about the claws from our use of Lego pieces for prototypes and we learned about the drawer sides, we created a robot that had both the claw and the drawer side combined. This robot was very hard to maneuver around and pick up blocks with, so we merged into a different 4-bar design where it would scoop under the blocks and lift them up with the 2 dual bars like this, and that led into our final robot that you can see today.
Hello, I'm Emmett. I'm going to continue talking about the robot progression. And as Abby said, we were a rookie team starting out this year, and we had absolutely no idea what Tetrix was or how to use it. So we started out building our most basic robots, and from there went on to experiment with new drive chains. And as Walker said, we finally decided, after making drive chains that were either too fast or too slow, on this basic kind of drive chain. And the most important thing was that through using all these gear techniques and constructing these different robots was actually how to construct our final robot. So through learning about these gear ratios, we actually managed to employ, we have now is a 6-to-1 gear ratio to use to lift our arm. And we also did something else.
Got any help for him?
Geared up the flag raiser
Yeah,
too.
and we have also geared up our flag racer.
And you know what? You might get stuck, and you need to be able to tell each other in a friendly way. That's how you're supporting each other. It's about that too. Be able to tell each other in a supportive way, "Hey Emmett," or it's okay. You don't have to mumble it, and you don't look at him like he made a mistake. And if he says, "I can't remember," you go, "the," and you make it. You make it positive. All right, you vote.
And so yeah, that's one method that we managed to progress along with this.
And now Selena will talk about the program, and then
Hold on
I
one
was
second.
after
One thing you haven't talked about is the fact that the first competition that you went to, your robot was unable to hang. And you saw that it was important. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gone through the trouble of making a
Ooh,
hang.
should I say that?
I actually.
I go in front,
Yeah.
straight in front, unless you want to.
No, I think that part of our introduction should be that this is our second competition. In our previous one, we weren't able to do things like hang, but we've improved a lot since then and experienced a lot through that.
With the progression,
Yeah.
because that is progression type.
Mm-hmm.
Say it wherever you want to say it, but
Ah,
that's awesome. You know, say it wherever you want to say it, but I think that's really cool that your robot is truly going from this, it's evolving.
Alright. And as you can see on the underside of our lift, that we actually have a hanging mechanism. The last competition we attended was 3 weeks ago
UVS.
in UVA.
It's more like